This roller coaster ride with the FTC, Microsoft and Activision continues, as the FTC tried to file an appeal, but they got denied by Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley very recently, and it now goes to the Ninth District of Appeals. But before we get into that, we have to talk about why the FTC was going to file this appeal, and then we're going to read an article by IGN talking about what is next for this case. First, let's go to Twitter with a tweet by Tom Warren, who also writes for The Verge, which we will take a look at in a moment, talking about why the FTC is going for would be going for this appeal. And it says here, and he says, at Tom Warren says, the FTC has just filed its appeal of the FTC versus Microsoft decision with the Ninth Circuit. Here's what the FTC alleges of Judge Corley's ruling. This was tweeted out yesterday. Number 1. Applied the wrong legal standard relying on government cases seeking permanent injunctions. Number 2. Eared on the Xbox Game Pass consumer benefits over potential foreclosure and multi-game subscriptions. Number 3. Relied too much on Microsoft's cloud gaming agreements. Number 4. Missed potential partial foreclosure strategies. And number 5. Ignored the FTC evidence about Microsoft's incentive to foreclose. And let's take a look at that article from The Verge, written partially by Tom Warren, and we're gonna skip a little bit of this article because we're gonna go straight into this portion right here. I will link to you this article in the description to read. But here is the reasons. Now that the FTC is choosing to appeal Judge Corley's decision, the regulator needs the Ninth Circuit of Appeals to issue an emergency stay to extend the existing temporary restraining order (TRO) that is set to expire at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time, Friday, July 14, which is today. It's not clear if the appeals court will even rule before the deal deadline on July 18th, potentially leaving the door wide open for Microsoft to close the Activision Blizzard deal on Monday or Tuesday without a restraining order in place. The FTC makes a series of arguments against the lower court ruling, arguing that number 1, the ruling applied the wrong legal standard, relying on government cases seeking injunctions. Number 2, it erred on the potential consumer benefits of Xbox Game Pass outweighed the potential for foreclosure of games like Call of Duty appearing on other subscription platforms. Number 3, it relied too much on Microsoft's agreement to provide games to other cloud services. Number 4, it missed potential partial foreclosure strategies, or ways that Microsoft could degrade the experience of games on other platforms without fully dropping support. And number 5, it ignored the FTC's evidence about Microsoft's incentives to foreclose access to games. So those are the reasons why the FTC wanted to appeal. But now that we learned that the appeal was denied, it goes to the Ninth District. Let's read the article by IGN, talking about the case and talking about the next step for Activision, Microsoft, and Blizzard. So this article is FTC's latest attempt to pause deal denied as Microsoft raised potential CMA solution, written on July 13, 2023 at 8:20 p.m. by Adam. I'm not going to pronounce the last name, I might get it wrong. Let's begin. Not only has the request by the FTC or to temporarily halt Microsoft's $68.7 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard pending its appeal decision has been denied, but Microsoft and Activision Blizzard are also reportedly considering selling off some of their UK cloud gaming rights to appease the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, or also known as the CMA. As reported by Reuters and Bloomberg, Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley, the same judge who denied the FTC's preliminary injunction request against the massive deal, also denied the FTC's request to stop the deal until the Ninth Court of Appeals has made its decision. Quote, the FTC asked the court to enjoin the merger at issue pending resolution of the FTC's appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The motion is denied, Corley wrote. Corley's decision to deny this motion and the FTC's preliminary injunction was due to many factors, with one being the main reasons being Call of Duty. Of course, why not? And quote, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision has been described as the largest in tech history, Judge Corley said in the ruling. It deserves scrutiny. That scrutiny has paid off. Microsoft has committed in writing in public and in court to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years on parity with Xbox. It made an agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to the Switch, and it entered several agreements to do for the first time being Activision's content to several cloud gaming services. The quote continues, this court's responsibility in this case is narrow. It is to decide if, notwithstanding these current circumstances, the merger shall be halted, perhaps even not terminated, pending resolution of the FTC administrative action. For the reasons explained, the court finds the FTC has not shown a likelihood it would prevail on its claim this particular vertical merger in this specific industry may substantially lessen competition. To the contrary, the record evidence points to more consumer access to Call of Duty and to the other Activision content. The motion for injunction is therefore denied. The article now will go into the part of the CMA in UK talking about how Microsoft and Activision are selling off their cloud game services rights. Let's continue. Microsoft and Activision Blizzard's attempt to appease the CMA reportedly lies in the cloud. As for the CMA or the thing in the UK, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard are reportedly considering giving up some of their cloud gaming business in the UK in an attempt to make regulators more willing to let this mega deal go through. Sources have noted that the companies could sell off their cloud-based market rights for games in the UK to a telecommunications, gaming, or internet-based cloud computing company, or a quote, private equity company. The CMA vetoed the deal back in April 2023, but it said Microsoft and Activision Blizzard are more than welcome to reconstruct the terms on the proposed acquisition. Unfortunately, this will require a whole new investigation that could take some time to complete. In regard to the original proposal, the CMA said, quote, the deal would alter the future of vast cloud gaming market, lead to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. End quote. Microsoft appealed the decision and a court date was set for July 28, which would be after the July 18 deadline for the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard to close. However, some analysts believe that Microsoft negotiated a deal with CMA to let the deal close before the quarrel is resolved. Speaking of the deadline, if the deal is not completed by July 18, which is next Tuesday by the way, Xbox would need to pay a $3 billion to Activision Blizzard, and the two companies would be able to renegotiate the deals on their merger. IGN spoke to a handful of analysts who believe the deal would still go through, but it's hard to predict with 100% certainty what will happen as we race past to July 18. So everything comes down to this. The ninth district, so far, at this case, with this particular chapter, if you will, it all comes down to the July 18 deadline. It comes down to the ninth district of appeals, what their decision is, and we still have to wait to start the new trial or the appeal trial of the UK version, which is the CMA. That begins July 28th. So, this chapter in the US is not over yet, folks. The chapter continues, and I will be covering it very soon again. So don't turn off that dial because this is not over. Okay, that's all. But this is over for today's articles. If you guys enjoyed what you got to learn, and I hope you guys are ready for a very wild case here. Smack that like button, hit that share, hit that subscribe button as well. We'll see you guys in our next gaming commentary, talking about another union who did unionize. Talking about that later. We'll see you guys on the next version, the next chapter of Microsoft versus FTC. We'll see you guys very soon for chapter 11. 12. I think this is chapter 12 already of this. We'll see you guys soon on that one.